Hi, my name is Matt Carroll with World Class Coaching and with Health Academy Sports Coach 2023. I want to talk to you about a session today that I've created based on a book that is available on the website called Club Curriculum U9 U10 Season by Tony England. In this book, it's got a lot of great details on technical and tactical aspirations for your U9 or U10 team. As you can see, you go through here, comfort on the ball, passing, receiving. So it goes through a lot of different training sessions you can utilize, as well as the way you're going to want to run your systems and set pieces. It has a number of systems to play, the 2-1-2, the 2-2-1, and one that I'm going to go over in here as well that I like to play with my team, they call it Christmas tree, the 3-2-1. So if we go back here, this is generally how I set up. And the idea isn't to be more defensive in this set. And I think that's where initially when I introduced it, a lot of the players were, well, we're just going to sit back and defend. We're not going to run up. And initially that's what we did. We had a large number of players pushed back. And then we had the three attacking players getting forward. And we didn't have a lot going on in the midfield here. So what we're trying to do in this formation isn't to sit back and defend, is for these players to get forward from more defensive positions, get forward and attack. So the idea is that when we have our forward goes forward, our midfielders get involved, and we have an overlapping player that is getting forward. So we're teaching the tactical shift within the game. We're teaching overlaps and underlaps. We're teaching the concept that defense isn't just stagnant, that you just stay defensive the entire game. And I think we've had some more positive results. We're starting to get there. There's hiccups. They're definitely learning it. They're learning different concepts in the game. And one of the more prouder moments we had the other day was we had our center back go forward. We had these two guys, defenders, pinch tight, just like they should, to prepare to block off the central run to the goal. And our center back was able to slide up and score a goal from an attacking position. So when we play that way, it's really great. If we don't and we sit back, it can get ugly. But again, at this age, we're talking about development. We're talking about getting these players ready to play the 11v11 game eventually. They're not playing that same style. But we're teaching concepts. We're teaching outlet passes. We're teaching all of that stuff. So one of the first things they cover is the kickoff. So in the kickoff, what we have here is we initially want to get wide. So one of the things they discuss is we have a player here directly behind the player taking the kickoff generally forward. And as soon as we play back to this player, we then are looking to split these players out wide. Now, whether it's your two back, a three back, whatever it is, you're looking to get your players wide here. So you've got a forward option, you've got an outlet option diagonal, and you've got these two wide players that you open up even further. This player can also make a secondary run forward as well as the other forward. So you've got a lot of different options here. So we'll move from kickoff to the build-out play. So unique for the U9s is the line of the build-out we have here. And I'm going to denote this with a field marking line here. So one of the issues we definitely have when we are building out is we don't get a lot of support. Players on the ball, and they're expected to go 1v1. And that doesn't really help when you have, say, like in this situation, we have two defenders here. This player's initially going to get pressed. And obviously we want this player to be able to dribble and attack and things like that. But not really helping when they're 2v1 under pressure in their own corner here with no support. So one thing I like to do when we do our build-out play, and they talk about something similar in the book, is I have two players split out wide, so I have two options so they can't overload to one side. I have, and this will be playing the other way, but we have the center back slides almost like a 6. Okay, the two players here are support players, and we have a forward. So the ball's rolled out over here to this side. What I like to see is this player splits out wide. The center back cuts in to give a diagonal option. The goalie slides over to give a backwards option. The other defender runs to the center to give the option of playing or covering centrally. The forward pushes high but wide, and this other center midfielder comes in. So what we've done is, although we talk about making the field big and opening things up, initially on the build-up play, we need support. And we want to be compact because there's a high chance we're going to lose the ball. So we're compact here, but with options to break out of this compactness. So here we have this player then, let's say, plays here to the other center back. We can go over the top to this forward player. We can play him and run him over here. We can build here and create triangles and diagonals. We can have an overlap. We can play the outlet. We got a lot of different options here. But if you see this player, once we can get to the center back, every player we have here has a number of options, at least 3 options. So one player here has 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 if this player cuts the wrong side, like they come in too tight, like here. We play here. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 options. All right, so there's a lot of variability within this. Next, we'll go up for an attacking corner. One thing they talked about here was getting 2 players in the box here, 1 on the outside here. We can maybe get a third up in here, a player that is the deep garbage player keeping the ball in, and then a player that's defending centrally. One way I like to teach it is I like to keep this player here is kind of the garbage, deep garbage and cover. These players are making the attacking runs, and I like to put this player out wide. So the idea we're teaching here is, yes, we have 2 players contesting. We have the player that's looking for the ball that skirts out, they can find a shot. But this player is what I call looking for their shadow, and they're going to run into the box here and run into the shadow of the player. The ball is coming from this side. Oh, sorry. So I have too many players in there. It'd be a kick taker, sorry. This guy would be the garbage. So these 2 players are here. He's running into the shadow because the ball is this way. So a lot of the defenders are going to be looking at the ball. Ball's oftentimes going to go over the head of some of these players and just kind of bounce to the top if you've got a player with a particularly strong foot. And what they're going to do is what I like to call closing the door. They're running in their shadow. They're making sure that they're running behind the defenders so the defenders can't see them. And they're closing the door. The ball is coming through, and they shut the door and slam the back of the net. Okay, so they're not allowing the ball to go out. They're closing the door before anything can get out. And it gives them a lot more room to work and a lot more room for them to see the play going on. Generally, what I do is I run my center back this way. One of my outside backs comes up forward, and the other one comes here. So where the ball goes, this guy can press, this guy can stay central, and it gives him time to retreat and get back in his position if need be. Okay. From there, it talks about a number of different. Let me clear this. A number of different ways of teaching the 3 key points. The book starts out with getting comfortable on the ball, passing, receiving, and then finishing. So one of the first things they have in there is just a simple hospital tag. They're U9, they're U10. We want the game to be as fun as possible. And I think you can get serious and you can do a lot of great things with these silly drills like sharks and minnows and stuff like that. And you're not doing everything. Like, oh, it's all a game, it's all fun. You're having a true session with the U9 team, but it's always helpful to kind of gamify it a little bit and make that connection, because they're going probably from a situation where they have maybe a trainer, but they generally have rec level experience, and they maybe played a little bit of a more elite level in the U8 and stuff like that. But again, it's supposed to be fun at this age, and we're keeping it that way. And we're linking that combination of like, oh, these fun games we played are then linked to more serious drills and activities that we're going to be utilizing. So here we have just a simple hospital tag. Everyone's got a ball. Let's get a ball. If they lose their ball, this player is able to touch the ball. They then have to put the ball on their head, spread their legs, and then we have to look for a player then to pass through their legs to free them. So we're working on dribbling, we're working on controlling the ball. Generally, what you're going to see, especially if you're not able, is they're not going to pass from 30 yards out and try to split their legs. They're going to try to dribble the ball through their legs and make a short little pass and kind of make a through ball through their legs and run onto it. So we're working a little bit of pass and receiving, but generally we're looking at being comfortable with the ball. I generally like to do like some kind of moves, maybe 3 moves that we're going to teach for the session. Maybe break it down to 1, depending on the group you have. Then we'll go 1v1, have them utilize those, and then talk about how they can utilize the L turn, the Cruyff turn, the scissor, whatever we're teaching. They can utilize in this game to avoid the tagger and make sure they can't get their ball. And that's why we do it with the ball, not like actually physically tagging them, because then they're just going to be moving their bodies and they run away from the ball. We make it, they have to get their ball kicked away, or the defender gets a touch on it, so they slow down. So that's one of the drills they talk about here about getting comfortable on the ball. The next one is, let me set these gates. Now, I have a bunch of these. You can use cones. I really like these. I have these these big gates. They're not like hurdles like you like using agility. They're a little more rounded. It's difficult to get the ball on them if you don't play an accurate pass. That's the point. You're trying to make an accurate pass here, and you're looking to move off the ball. So what we have here is, let's see, a player here, player here. They're passing between this gate. There's other players doing the same, and if they play through the gate, now they need to go to another gate. So the way we work it here is, okay, well, his first touch is going to be here, this way. You need to read his body language, so you get here. His first touch is here, so that he can then play a pass through here. And we're just working on constantly passing, moving. You keep score. Whoever passes the most gates in 10 minutes, whatever it is, they win the game, and they get to, they don't have to do push-ups, or they get some kind of trophy at the end. And then finalizing for finishing, you can do a lot of great drills, But I think consistently just a 1v1 to goal in a confined space is usually the best way of doing things, because it teaches the idea of you're utilizing your move. If you go really, really wide, you're going to run into another defender. You have to be able to get the shot off within a tight space. So maybe teach shooting and then go into the 1v1. So again, I really like this session. I'd like to hear what formations and tactics you utilize for your U9s for teaching them and instilling those concepts and ideas at this young age, so they can kind of move along and progress those ideas and keep those major components of the game to the 11v11 game eventually. And my name is Matt Carroll, World Class Coaching, the Help Academy Sports Coach 2023, and the Club Curriculum U9 ebook we have available on the website, which we'll put in the comment section so you can check out. I hope this session finds you well.